It's approaching 1 p.m. on Sunday, June 30th, 2024. We're on Route 9 heading south, and we're heading to the hamlet of Chazy. We're about to enter the town of Chazy in just 100 feet or so. We're there briefly. We're going to take a brief look because it's a busy day for a busy weekend, a busy week for us. 90th birthday party for Mr. George Brendler, and there's nobody in the world who knows anything about Chazy who would not agree that when George Brendler decided to move to Chazy somewhere in the vicinity of 60 years ago, this community changed. An already good community, thanks in large part to the legacy of William H. Minor, but the residents and the school are really shown up over the years. But things got just a little bit better when Mr. Brendler and his enthusiasm for soccer came here to Chazy. And if you look at the Class D state championships, 3 of them for the girls, and if you count them, there are 10 there for the boys. So after 2 more championships, they're going to have to get a bigger sign. 10-time New York State Class D champions, and if there's anybody who thinks that would not have happened, that would have happened if George Brendler had never decided to come here, you're sadly mistaken. Mr. McAuliffe, Mr. Tregan, a lot of coaches have carried on that tradition. In the Clarisse Championship wasn't accomplished until after George had retired, but there's no doubt that it would probably, if they had a championship, that would have been great. But to have 10 of them, that's only possible because George Brendler came here. So we're going to take a brief look at the party for him, celebrating his 90th year, as we said. It's a busy day, so we got to get out of here, but we owe it to George and the community of Chazy to be here. When George first arrived in Chazy, Route 9 was the main thoroughfare between Montreal and New York City. The Adirondack Northway wasn't completed until the Expo 67 era, and Dumar's store across the road here would have been very active, and this here would have been known as Musso Pharmacy, and now it's the Cattle Barn Pub and Grill, and we're going to go inside, find out what's happening. Looks like people come wandering over from the fire department area, and activity should be getting underway shortly.
One of them was
Okay, I found this guy standing in front of the weathercock, wondering why nobody was there, so I told him I had to come over here to the cattle barn.
The place, it burned down.
Yeah, that was a heck of a loss for the community.
Yes, yes.
George Brendler, 90 years old. When's your birthday?
Today is
Today is your birthday.
Yes, right on time. And you know, the funny thing was that the day before was my anniversary. Of course, 67th anniversary, so we used to celebrate the 2 together. But 90, yes, but nothing special. I don't know. I'm not one of those old people.
No.
I don't feel like
Just
one
another number, right?
Right. Right.
So what year did you move to Chazy?
1965.
65. I figured it was close to 60 years ago.
Oh yeah, and I've been living here for so long. I'm sure the New York people all think that I'm a native, but we know that in the North Country you're never a native unless you were born
Unless
here.
you were born here. And
No
your
offense to
parents and
anybody. No,
grandparents were too, yeah.
I must say that it's been a great community, and the people have been very good to work with, and it's home.
Right.
To all of us.
Now, you had a successful job over there in Vermont. Norm Bono said he remembers
Oh yeah,
you coaching.
we banged heads with Sacred Heart.
So what prompted you to move here to Chazy?
Well, initially we left Vermont, moved to Massachusetts,
Okay.
but that didn't work out. Big school, things didn't work out right, so I looked for the country again. And what do we think? What do we do? Move back up to the North Country. Not that I had intended to come this far up, but it did happen. Somebody's trying to call me, but I think we'll let him go.
Well, no, they want to congratulate you here. We don't want to tie you up here too long. We're just going to stop in briefly. We've got it's a
Well,
busy day. It's
For you, we got lots going on.
yeah, big parade and other things going on
Oh,
around
yeah,
this
yeah.
winter
Well, I
parade.
do appreciate you coming down, Calvin. And I have to, people that watch Calvin Vision, we have really appreciated your work. I congratulate you on your effort all these years, and I'm glad you're now on the county board. And you have all the knowledge from all those many meetings that you have probably more to offer than
I've been to more meetings than 90% of the people in the world. Yeah.
So I really appreciate you coming by to to say hi. And again, I have to thank everybody in town for making this our home. And I'm hoping, as today we, we have people stopping by from I don't know how far back, but 60 years, almost 60
yeah,
years.
the alumni banquet was
Right.
Last night, so there might be a few that.
Yep. There was one here earlier, yesterday I came in and a couple of people were here because that was their class, 1974,
Right.
which seems like not that long ago.
I started recording those alumni things probably over 30 years ago.
83 is when you started.
Yeah, but when I started recording them, it wasn't 83.
Oh, yeah.
And the 50-year graduates looked a lot older then than they do now.
Right. Well, that's the thing, that at that time, 50 years, man, that was a long time. And, now when I look back, it just doesn't seem like those kids, they're still kids, but they're not.
No.
They're getting up in their 70s.
Half a century later here, yeah.
There, people are coming to
All
visit.
right, so I'm going to let you go here and greet your fans.
All right, thank you, Calvin.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
All right. This has just officially begun. Once Joe Coulomb walks in the room, the party starts. The party has officially. Yes, he's banned from hometown cable as far as doing play-by-play, but that was a couple decades ago. More and more people showing up, some who aren't even graduates here. Bill Stickney, who lives in Chazy, that grew up in Newcomb, is coming here with card in hand to congratulate George. And again, this will be very brief. It's a busy day, a lot of stuff to cover, and we just wanted to make a little token show here for George, show our appreciation for what he's done for the community. He's made the whole North Country better. He and his bride decided to make Chazy their home. And some people are showing up with their high school shirts on to show that they haven't grown up. They can still fit in their high school shirts. So it's going to start getting more and more crowded here. It's only 1:03, and Lee the pharmacist is here. Lee Barcombe, and okay, it's going to get crowded in here. The air conditioner is running, but I think it's on a muggy day. It's going to get even warmer here, so we're going to head out, hit the road. One of George's sons over there. He accompanies them to a lot of soccer games at George Brendler Field. And before we leave, we're going to look at a couple of mementos that are available here in town with George Brendler's name on them. So we're going to let these people enjoy their time. This is a place for people who went to Chazy during that 59-year George Brendler era, and we're gonna leave them to it. And it looks like this party is just beginning here at 1:08 on this June 30th, George's birthday. He's kind of blowing in the wind here, but here's young George Brendler. Yeah. hometown heroes flag that's put up here. Served in the U.S. Army, of course, born in 1934, so he's certainly not a World War II veteran. He spent part of World War II in Europe with his grandparents, as I recall. You can find out a lot of the history of George, and if you go to our Hometown Cable YouTube channel, did an extensive interview with George and with Bob Venn, and we did some with Gordy over the years too, and history of George Brendler. So this is right outside the Stewarts this year, right across from the Alice T. Minor Museum, if you want to see that hometown hero flag of Mr. George Brendler. But there's a year-round lasting legacy for George Brendler, and it's right here on the grounds of Chazy Central Rural School, George Brendler Field. And George is at as many of those soccer games as he can be at. He's usually sitting right across the way in the bleachers enjoying the game, but George Brendler Field is here, and it just shows how much this community cares about the legacy that George Brendler brought when they moved here back in 1965. So it'll be 60 years ago next year. So again, that party was starting to pick up. Kind of feel like an outsider invading a personal family party, so we're going to let the Chazy residents and Chazy alumnus and so on, and George's family, of course, is there, enjoy the day. And we're going to head to Rouse's Point, where they've got the Stars and Stripes on the Lake party going on. So if you've got nothing to do once it gets to be late August to late October, stop in here at a soccer game and enjoy the view here at George Brendler Field. And congratulations once again to our friend on his 90th birthday.